I installed an industrial deep fryer in my trunk.
We're gonna have some fried chicken and some frog legs.
Is he canonical?
And a nice bear gut.
Bear gut?
And whatever the Gonzo is. I don't
Hello, everybody. I'm Christian.
And I'm Ozzy.
And welcome back to That's the Flavor, episode number 39. What? Woo.
39.
Pew, 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 pew.
I know it's a P, but it works as a 9.
Audio listeners, Ozzy was pointing at his hat, which it has a P logo on it right now, but he's using it as a 9. I don't know what that's I don't know what baseball team that's the logo for. Not gonna lie.
All right, taste buds. Well, it has been nice knowing you, but after that, the fact that Christian doesn't know 2 things off of that, yeah, I'm gonna have to see myself out. So,
look, I'm a football guy, not a baseball guy.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Chiefs fan.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I am a Chiefs fan. Canonically, that's a canon. That's a canon.
I will say, last Super Bowl was pretty much the epitome of me versus Christian.
Yeah.
I mean, I like football too, but baseball's my sport more. Philly all the way.
Hey, fair enough. Fair enough.
So, do you know who these are now?
Phillies?
I'm proud of you for using your context clues.
Nice. Hey,
yeah, at the time of recording this is the second playoff game for the Phillies, so.
You know what? I'll cheer on the Phillies. Let's go Phillies.
I'm repping. No, I don't want your pity vote. I want your petty cheer.
But That's the Flavor is your weekly podcast where Ozzy and I sit down with each other, hang out, have a good time, just 2 buds shooting the shit, hanging out, having a great old time, tasting life, answering your questions, answering our questions, like Chick-fil-A versus alligators. Is our chicken tenders a sandwich? The McDonald's.
How can you survive in this economy?
Yeah, like seriously.
I still don't know how.
that was a great little slam dunk call back there. I'm proud of us on that one. But you can go ahead and find it on all of your favorite podcast feeds, and also That's the Flavor on YouTube. It's That's the Flavor pretty much anywhere. You can also find us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all the social media. So go ahead and stay up to date with us as best as I can, because juggling all of this social media stuff is really, really difficult.
Pray for Christian.
Pray for me. Toss one up.
Hashtag pray for Christian.
Hashtag. But
do your shot of milk. Microdose your milk.
Microdose your milk for Christian.
Because microdosing is equivalent to church and church camp. So boom, pray for Christian.
It's like the body. It's like the blood of Christian.
Milk.
Yeah.
And then you wanted to carbonate milk.
Yes. No, clam chowder.
Oh yeah, clam chowder. No, somebody's already carbonated milk.
Arguably worse.
On
many levels.
Yeah.
But thank you guys for the support on episode number 38. We appreciate each and every one of you taste buds. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. We would not be doing this podcast without your guys' support. And yeah, speaking of your guys' support, you guys had a lot of fun comments and so forth to last week's episode, continuing the conversation from chicken tenders being a sandwich, and also are we the failed creation of aliens, which I thought was a really, really interesting one that got us into a weird philosophical debate.
Broke my mind.
Yeah, just a little bit. One, people are really siding with you, Ozzy, that chocolate milk in the fruit cereal thing wouldn't be that bad. And I still don't disagree. I still don't agree, is what I should say. There's no way. Chocolate milk with all that fresh fruit, mm-mm.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, taste buds. I think so. Mm-hmm. You're just mad because they sided with me.
Yeah, 100%. That's exactly what it is. But then we had our buddy Alex, who commented the whole alien theory to begin with, which for you guys that weren't here listening to last episode was, oh god, where is it? Scroll fast, Christian. I should have had it pulled up, but then I closed the tab. Oh no.
Gas.
Actually, where is it?
Gotta put on the gas.
Gotta put on the gas. Come on. There. Okay, I can't find it, but it was basically the idea of Like, what if aliens showed up to Earth and were like, humans are like a failed creation, we got to make changes to them, and they made changes to us? Like, how do we feel about that? But he then added to the theory where he said, so considering the saying history repeats itself, what if the
Oh,
aliens
shit.
so considering the saying consider the theory or the saying history repeats itself, and in that instance, what if the aliens are an advanced civilization? All right. Two,
Mhm.
and then he goes on to say, we are the civilization that's about to advance, like we as humans, and then monkeys are entering like their age of like next step of evolution to humans. Because if you go out there and look right now, there are articles and stories and stuff about monkeys creating weapons, or like rudimentary weapons like spears, and like using rocks as weapons and so forth to hunt and to continue to live and forage and defend themselves. So if that's the case, like, is it this time loop repeating itself? Oh, that's too much silence. I also had to take a drink, and Ozzy was pondering. I think I
I
broke him a
mean,
little bit.
that also makes me think. I mean, it's just the cycle of man, which that would make sense because then I mean, I guess it
Right.
goes to a rudimentary idea, and I mean, you could also then because that just makes my Shakespeare brain go to the cycles of man and like
Wait,
the
what are the
world as a
cycles of man?
stage. I mean, um, it's just like literally growing up. So like
Oh, okay.
and how you like come back to where you started basically because like
Okay.
when you're a baby you need like cared for and you can't do things on your own and then you start to grow up and then you go through life and then you become an adult and then when you become an adult you have your own responsibilities and then whenever you start to
Okay.
get a little bit older you're starting to lose those responsibilities but then whenever you are like older, then you kind of start going back to your baby phase and that you need to be taken care of, and then you don't have as much control over your body and stuff like that.
And then it
So, I
just
mean,
repeats.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's a constant
Okay,
cycle.
interesting. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. And
A
that
reboot
totally
button.
makes sense. I just hadn't like heard it explained that way, or it's like titled that way, but it makes sense. This is
Yeah.
almost more like the circle of existence of like the universe, though, because like you got to think of like
Yeah.
because
Oh,
it
but
almost
then.
gets to like the weird like for like it gets that's what it is. It gets really weird like to the point of like Interstellar, right? Because Interstellar's whole thing, spoilers for Interstellar, the movie that's like many years old at this point, but like that whole thing is, hey, these super crazy fourth dimensional beings are like controlling our life here in our dimension, like, but they're also future versions of us that aren't human, but there's some kind of higher life form.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I
it
mean,
gets to that level of it, which I
and then
mean,
that breaks my brain because then I mean, is there ever a true authentic discovery besides the first one?
right?
Which is kind of crazy, but like I don't know. It makes me because then I guess my question is, especially since like we're fucking like we fucked the earth so bad and you know global warming and stuff like that and you know all of the theories and the possibilities and probability
Right.
of the like the sun either um wow I don't know
Like it continues to
like,
like solar flare
like
like worse
solar
and
flare
worse. Like, yeah,
gets closer to us a star explodes like our oxygen depletes our like mantle literally caves into the core like all of these like theories and stuff like that of like a planet exploding so then like yeah that's just the end of it and then we find another earth.
yeah. I mean, my thing is, you forgot one major Earth ending theory, which is just the Death Star shows up and just, you
Oh yeah,
know,
yeah.
little Alderaan, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, little. Or if you want to get more recent Star Wars, you know, Episode 9, a Star Destroyer shows up that has the Death Star laser on it, and it goes.
so dumb.
Look, you could laugh all you want about it. Episode 9, I love Episode 9. I will stand on my minority little hill, but I love it because does it make like a ton of sense when you start thinking about it? No, but in my opinion, neither did the prequels. the prequels didn't make a lot of like sense and so forth until we had like, or I guess Warden didn't make, they made a lot of sense. They weren't fleshed out until we got like Clone Wars, like the show that lasted, you know what I mean? Like that filled in like all this gappage and like background on characters and history and so forth. Because I feel like if you watch like episodes 1, 2, and 3, and we just had those, like the characters are done so two-dimensionally.
Agreed, but I mean that was also at the time, and there was
Right.
also like very shittily done. I mean,
Right.
I think you have to look at the original trilogy for it to be fair, because that's what came first.
Right, but I'm talking about like these instances. So I think like the sequel trilogy, for example, like 7, 8, 9. Let's say like how you dislike it, so forth, or however you feel about it.
I mean, I don't dislike 7. I think 7.
Right,
was great.
I'm just saying anybody, not just you. One, I think 7's the best like out of the trilogy, but like, you know.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
if you don't say it's the best, I will question you.
I mean, I argue that 9 is better than it, but it's fine. um,
I don't know. I know somebody who would argue that 8's better than
okay.
No.
8, Last
Not
Jedi
the
is
fucking
a good
salt planet.
Last Jedi
never
is a
shows
good,
up again.
Last Jedi is a good movie. It's not a good Star Wars movie. Like if you're gonna take away the Star Wars element and it was just some sci-fi film, I feel like it'd be pretty solid. It'd be pretty good. But because it is a Star Wars movie, it's objectively hated because of like the way it's paced and the story, the way it tries to tell the story.
I guess fair. Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, in my mind, The Last Jedi, as great as it is and the themes it's trying to tell, is not a Star Wars movie.
I guess that's fair. Yeah.
But the era of Star Wars we currently live in right now, with all the shows and so forth coming out, are all doing what Clone Wars did for the prequels. It's filling in all of this. How did we get to 7, 8, and 9? How do we get to a point where like Palpatine returns and so forth? But
yeah, no, I agree, and I mean, I think I like the Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka and all of those have done marvelous, and I mean, I love Mando and I love Boba Fett. I still have to watch Ahsoka.
I was gonna say, I as canonically, I keep saying canonically, but like that's not a thing. Like it's just at the time of this recording, the episode of Ahsoka aired, the finale of Ahsoka aired last night, and it was pretty good. That's all I'll say. But like knowing that you haven't watched it, but it was pretty good.
I believe it.
And Loki season 2 starts tomorrow, so that's pretty.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
that shit looks crazy.
Yeah, I like how I immediately pivoted the Earth exploding in Aliens to Star Wars. But you know, that's what we do here on That's the Flavor. That's what happens.
It is true.
I also feel really passionately about the sequel trilogy personally.
I know you do. See, I would argue that I think I would much rather watch. I think I honestly would much rather watch the prequels over the sequels.
So I had this discussion with somebody else, like way back when, and by way back when I think when I was at Disney, like with one of my roommates, like because of the CGI and like the way it was used and how it was still super early, like I find episodes like 1 and 2 like hard to watch, like from a visual standpoint. Like they don't look that great the same way majority of like early CGI, early 2000s movies don't look great.
Yeah, see, that's interesting you say that. I mean, it doesn't bug me, but I think also like I don't know. I guess if it's maybe just because it's gotten so desensitized, and like when I watch the prequels, like I'm having a good time. I don't care what it looks like. Fucking Misa Jar Jar, fucking Kenobi, fucking General Grievous, and I mean the iconic Duel of Fates. Like I mean, I think
that, like there are like episodes. So I mind you, out of the prequels, like I do not like episodes 1 and 2. Like episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, I like it for what it wants to be and what I know it could be, and like I appreciate the story that it tells and like the duel between Obi-Wan and Anakin, but like I don't like that it tries to do everything to make up for the fact that like 1 and 2 weren't the best. You know what I mean? It had so much ground to cover that it just couldn't do it all, and still at the end of the day, like is brought down by the ones before it.
I mean, yeah, that's fair, but I mean, with how Hollywood and ideas are going, before you know it, they're gonna remake the prequels again. You know, just like we're getting a whole new Harry Potter for whatever
which is
fucking
wild.
reason.
And I don't know if that's just the thing where like is this how our parents feel when like something they watched gets remade? You know what I mean? Like, are we just now reaching that point in our lives where that's happening, or
I
is it,
guess.
or is it also compounded with the fact that like media as itself, because we were just talking about this before we recorded, like is consumed at such a higher rate. Like people's attention spans are so much shorter that like the span of when something gets rebooted is now growing shorter and shorter and shorter because people want Harry Potter and they don't want Harry Potter and all these like different spin-off series. They want Harry Potter. And if Harry Potter's already been done, we then need to make Harry Potter but again. You know what I mean?
I see,
And
but
so forth. Like which I don't
yeah.
think is right, but I think that that's the mentality currently.
Well, see, I think the issue is then this gives me into like a similar realm in terms of like video games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, I think me and you have had this conversation countless times of
Right.
the age old COD debate of whether or not you want to do futuristic warfare, if you want to go back in time, or if you want to do modern warfare. Like
Yeah.
literally, it depends on the era because everybody's like they have such nostalgia for this stuff, but then at the same time, then they're hating at it at the same time, and like this is the issue is you're gonna have people that are gonna stand by the originals and like boycott the new. Then you're gonna have people that are gonna give the new a shot and be like, you know, it's not that bad. Then there's gonna people who are gonna watch it and be like, you know, this is actually atrocious. And then you're gonna have like fucking little Timmy who's 5 years old and it's like, that's my Harry Potter. And whenever he's like, and then that's when you come up and be like, no, Daniel Radcliffe is my Harry Potter. Like it goes to like that bullshit.
Yeah.
Which I mean, why make the bullshit when it doesn't need to be? Like, I mean,
Well, you even
and
have
I mean,
that
I'm not saying this. Like, you can't obviously CGI
hey, little
can
Timmy,
do
if you're
wonderful things.
listening, your new Harry Potter ain't shit. All right, that's what Ozzy's saying, little Timmy. You turn off the podcast right now and you go watch the movies and you read the books. That's the only real Harry Potter. All right.
Don't get me wrong, like CGI and stuff's good, but I don't think they could de-age Daniel Radcliffe back down to
No, here's the thing. They
13-year-old.
could like
The
they could
12-year-old.
attempt. All right, like he just walks around
Yeah,
on his
but
knees
then
the
that,
whole time for 7
and
movies.
that's gonna be bad. That's just gonna
Yeah.
be bad.
They're rebooting Harry Potter, but they couldn't like find a good person to cast, so it's just all the original actors like on like knee pads, like crawling around, like shuffling for 7 new movies. Which not
well,
even
they're not movies, it's
yeah,
a
that was
TV
supposed to do a
show.
show, which is arguably worse. The other thing I'm
Agreed.
excited for, if you want to talk about reboots, is the new Percy Jackson show that's coming out
I
on
mean,
Disney
I
Plus.
will give that. Yes, I do. I
Because
think
the movies for that were garbage.
Well, see, I think that's just it. Like, if you were bringing back something that didn't like it didn't do what it was supposed to do. So, like, I guess this is literally going back to the prequels. Like,
Yeah.
if they remade the prequels now, I think people would be upset just for the simple fact of like casting purposes. I mean, look at Ian McGregor. Like, he did do Kenobi. I feel like he would probably redo it, but I mean, then you're gonna have the issues of like, would Samuel L. Jackson return as Mace Windu? Also, like, I am pretty sure a couple of those actors who were like original in it, like, are sadly
The
no
issue
longer
is
with
like it
us.
comes down to like then you're just de-aging everybody, or you're just letting them be old. So like you're redoing the prequels, but you got like Samuel L. Jackson, who is now like 20 years older, like doing this like either the same age Mace Windu de-aged down, or just an old grizzled Mace Windu, but playing the fact that he's like 30 or 40. Like, um,
I
but
mean,
like even when you come down to recasting, Star Wars is a huge issue with that right now. Like Star Wars, both as a fan base and like the people over at Lucasfilms, like Disney, are really fickle about recasting actors, like to the point where how much of Mandalorian have you watched? Have you finished season 2?
I have finished season 2.
Okay.
So like the end with
Spoilers
With-
for Mandalorian season 2.
with Skywalker with
Yes.
Luke.
So the fact, like, yes, for example, when he shows up, the guy who is actually like fronting and like walking around as the actual person for Luke before they CGI on Mark Hamill's face looks exactly like a young Mark Hamill. And is already doing all his physical mannerisms. So instead of just letting that guy go on screen and be Luke Skywalker, they feel the need to like CGI his face on there, Or on
Well, I
top of
mean, I
that,
guess that's also similar to like episode 9 when they literally AI generated a lot of Carrie Fisher
mhm.
for
That's
Leia.
different from an age thing though, because like so her Carrie Fisher's daughter was like their stand-in model for that. And then because Leia at that point is also like in her 60s, 70s, like that gets a little more wonky. But I'm saying like if they're playing characters that are like canonically the same age, just let them do it. Because like
Okay, yeah.
even in Rogue One, when like Princess Leia shows up at the end and it's like a CGI face of Leia,
Yeah.
her daughter was again still the stand-in and looks like Carrie Fisher.
Yeah.
Like, or we also have a guy who played a pretty damn good young Han Solo in the Solo movie. Whether you like that movie or not, he played a good Han Solo, and he's right there. Like your
Yeah,
original
that is
cast of
true.
characters is right there, and the things you could do with them, telling their stories and adventures they went on between episode 6 and episode 7, which is like a 15-year time span, you
Yeah.
could do if and you could have all the things that Star Wars fans want if they just decided to not be fickle about it. And like same thing with Lucasfilms, they could just go and do it, just bite the bullet, like because
Yeah, but I
you're
think it was
missing
just
out
biting the
on,
bullet.
and that's just it. Well, you're missing out on all the storytelling you could be doing with these actors who are like perfect recasts.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I know Donald Glover specifically in like the Solo has talked about that he would 100%
Hmm.
revisit Lando.
Yeah,
And I mean, fuck yeah. I mean, I love Donald
yeah,
Glover. Oh yeah, I'm just tight
oh,
with Donald.
yeah,
Him
yeah.
and I
You
are
know,
on a
you
first
and
name
Donald go way
basis.
back. Like, yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, dude.
From that time you cameoed on a Community, like, yeah,
Yeah, I was
yeah.
wearing sweatpants and that actually inspired sweatpants. Um yeah. That's
I was one of the extras on
canonical
Community, and I wore
since the
sweatpants
word
that
of
day.
today. Since the word of today is canonical, that is canonical.
Right.
Sweatpants I inspired.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Like you again, you are saying like the song like Sweatpants, correct? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
And also,
The
I
way
told
it
him that
sounds.
and also my character was from Atlanta,
Mm.
and then he went to
Mm.
star in Atlanta, and then I said that my uncle's name was Aaron, and
Mm.
then he was
Went on to
Uncle
be the-
Aaron. Oh, no, that's crazy. I could go on and on. I mean, I
I'm
love
going on
Donald.
about the crazy connections Donald and I have. We go way back.
Yeah.
Did you just bless him up? He's not dead. Like, he's not God.
I can bless him up.
Yeah, can
He's feeling
is
my
that a thing?
love. I'm
Can you
feeling his
bless
love right
people
now.
up if they're not like? I thought that's like a thing if
I
like,
mean,
they
I do
die.
it all the time.
Oh, okay. Right. Bless up, Big Bird.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Love you, Donald.
Oh. Which I'm excited because at the time of recording this, in a couple days from now, we're gonna go see Big Bird.
In
So
which
we would have already
you
done it by the
taste
time
buds
this
might
comes
get
out.
a taste of.
A taste of Big Bird.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right.
What do you think we're doing, dude?
Oh God, I didn't think we were doing it. But like,
How do you think? Yeah, it's
did you
that's
acquire the
the
great?
flav-
Did you acquire the
that's
great
the-
weapon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I got a fryer in my car. We're gonna have some
I
fried
installed
chicken.
an industrial deep fryer in my trunk.
We're gonna have some fried chicken and some frog legs
Is he
and a
canonical?
nice bear gut
Bear gut?
and whatever the fuck Gonzo is.
We talked about before we recorded the episode that we're gonna have a more structured podcast episode, and instead we have gone all over the map, and not even halfway through. We're like roughly halfway through. We're like 24 minutes in. And we've gone all over the. Oh man. Woo.
Do we have any more comments?
I mean, not really. No.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Not really.
What the fuck's Elmo?
So at that point, he's just Elmo is just a Muppet. So no, I know you're like, oh right, but like so. not only like a Muppet is a classification of puppet, like at this point in time. So like
Yeah,
it
I
is
know that. Yeah.
a man puppet. It is a puppet shaped like a man, or a like it. I leave the description. It either goes two ways. It's either humanoid. It's either a humanoid shaped thing,
No,
or
no.
it's like
Wait, I can do this.
okay.
You're either a Muppet of a man or you're a very manly Muppet.
Very manly Muppet.
That's your classification.
Yeah.
I'm a Muppet of a man. That's
one of my favorite things in our friendship is watching you perform that in high school. That is one of my favorite things in our friendship.
I'm a very manly Muppet. I'm a Muppet of man. Love you, Jason Segel.
Oh man. But so like the thing with the Muppets is they have like it's either you are a humanoid puppet, so like, you're an Elmo, or you're a like creature monstrosity thing like Snuffleupagus, Big Bird, like Sweetums.
And wait, then, so Big Bird's classified as like a monster? Not.
I mean, I don't know. Like he is still. I'm saying like so there are either like that's like the two versions of Muppet. So like Big Bird is still a Muppet. But
well,
like,
yeah.
I want to make sure I'm getting this right.
Oh, I was gonna say, I guess creature I feel like would be better of like in terms of like I guess if you're gonna classify like Snuffleupagus and stuff like that. But I mean, then you're gonna get into the issue of like the name. I really hate saying like the name brand Muppets, but you know what I mean.
The name brand.
I guess you should just say the Muppet Show Muppets. So like you have Kermit the Frog, Miss Piggy, Fozzie the Bear, Pepe the Shrimp, like Rizzo the Rat, like stuff like that. Because like I guess isn't like the general definition of a puppet is an extension of a person that like has like can control.
Right. This is coming from the Muppet wiki page over on like muppet.fandom.com.
Okay.
The term Muppet was invented by Jim Henson at the beginning of his career to describe his puppet act. It is sometimes claimed refuted that Henson created the term as a combination of the please scroll website page, thank you. Henson created the term as a combination of the words marionette and puppet. Henson used the term Muppet, used the Muppet name to define the characters in his productions and to distinguish his act from other puppeteers. Following the development of various projects over the years and ownership changes from some characters, the term has seen a shift in the way it has been used by official parties and its perception in pop culture. Yeah, and I mean, there's a whole page that goes on about it. So but yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know it was marionette and a puppet.
That's interesting. There's also then a popular page. There's a suggested page on the fandom wiki about Slimy, Oscar the Grouch's worm, and I love that.
Oh yeah, I do love Slimy.
I do love Slimy.
So is Oscar the Grouch
has a little
classified as a Elmo? Oh really?
Yeah. What were you saying though? I'm sorry.
So I guess Oscar would be classified as like a manly Muppet.
So that's where it gets wonky. I could be wrong about the definition. Like I honestly could be, but like that's what I had been like told through like friends and so forth through the years. Like,
you know what, Christian? Our answers will be given to us.
I know. I'm very excited.
At the museum.
I'm very excited. It makes me want to release this episode early just so it's better context to like.
No. They must be confused. I want to do that thing of that we talk about it and then the episode comes out after it.
Yeah, that's wonderful. But yeah, because honestly, we need to have. You know who would give us the answer as well is if we had Peyton on the show. Peyton would give us the answer.
Yeah,
because we talked about Muppets the last time. She texted me and got mad at me that we didn't have her on the show when we talked about Muppets. I was like, we didn't know we were going to talk about them. It just happened.
We really don't. Like, I mean, if you're listening, Peyton, you very clearly heard us go from the world exploding itself to Star Wars to then we're gonna eat whatever the fuck Gonzo is
to debating what a Muppet is.
and to saying
This sentence right now.
to yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Proud of you.
Sorry, I'm breaking up. That
Oh,
was
God.
totally not me. Just
Oh yeah. Is your internet connection being funky? Just
100%. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
not lagging at all right now. Yes,
Beep
I.
boop.
What?
Beep
No.
bop.
Beep bop bop. Hey ha ha.
uh.
I'm a very manly Muppet.
Quick, I'll see vamp.
I'm a Muppet man.
Can't wait to see the YouTube copyright strike for the 3 seconds of "Man or a Muppet" sang during this.
I'm sorry, Disney. I'm sorry, Mickey.
Because do you know there are companies out there that do that? Like whenever it comes to copyright strikes, they'll go through like someone's like hour podcast, and if it's like 3 seconds, they'll copyright strike it.
Love that.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Was it 3 seconds?
I have no idea. But like I just mentioned that, you know, funny.
What if it was? What if it's 2.8?
Then no, I'm pretty sure it's a hard like 3 second like cut, like 3 seconds or more, or like if you're let's say you're like a reaction channel, like you react to like TV episodes or movies or whatever, you're only allowed to show like 10 minutes of whatever you're watching in your video of you reacting.
That makes so much more sense now.
So instead of it just like, that's why people don't just like put their webcam and then have the episode play in the background. That's why it constantly like, cuts to them like talking for like at least like a minute and then shows more movie or so, like, because you can't just show the whole movie because it falls under some copyright law, but you can do up to 10 minutes before like you're breaking that.
Interesting. And then of course there's ways around it, like because if you get approval from said person who has the copyright, be like, hey, can I do this for this purpose? And they're like, oh yeah, then they can't copyright strike you.
So I believe so, because like there's the channels out there like CinemaSins and like CinemaWins as well, and I believe it comes down to some kind of fact that like as long as you are adding enough of your own original content on top of whatever it is, you're okay. But I think that like just the general reactions of stuff don't count because you're just like, oh my god, or oh that's crazy, or like, you know what I mean? Like I think
Just like a normal viewership.
Right, like I used to watch a lot of the reaction channels that reacted to like Walking Dead stuff for a really long time. And it's like they were all channels that like would watch it, like have a little bit on screen, like cut away, like show it like the show for the big moments, but like they were always designed to like not go over that like 10 minutes of film time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So does that mean like if you went to film school and like no, never mind. I guess it doesn't.
Okay.
Yeah, never mind. Yeah, no, that thought's dead. It wasn't good.
Okay. We're gonna bury it?
Yeah. Bury it next to me.
Bury it next to the bird in the backyard of my old house.
Bury it next to where
that's a deep cut right there, by the way.
That is a deep cut.
That's a deep cut.
Oh my god, I was there for that. Yeah. Shit.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
We had a funeral.
Yeah, we did.
Because I called you.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, this bird just
died. And we used sticks as the tombstone, right?
Yeah.
I sang Ave Maria.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That is
that's a deep cut. That's like sophomore year of high school.
Holy shit.
Context, full story. I was outside doing my thing, you know, at a house, doing what I do, and all of a sudden I heard this like plop on the window. Walk outside. There's a little bird that like I guess hit the window kind of scenario and like was now underneath like my back set of stairs, and it was doing bird things after a bird would hit a window, and ended up passing away. The immediate thing I did was freak out and call Ozzy. Say, hey man, this just happened. Mind you, my family was home. Like my brother was home, my mom was home, and I still first thing I did called Ozzy, and I was like, hey man, this just happened, and he was like, whoa man, are you okay? Do you need me to come over? I was like, I don't know man, I'm feeling a little shaken up right now. I think I need to give this thing a proper funeral. He then came over and we had a funeral for the bird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that unlocked a memory, man.
Yep. It's like when people say like core memory unlocked when they're talking about their kids on like TikTok or whatever.
Yeah,
But we
no,
just
that was
re-unlocked a core memory that we already had.
Is that a core memory? Is that defining? Like, is that define the
feel like
people that we
that's
are
one of the-
today?
I think so. I think that's I think at the very least, it doesn't define us as people. It defines our friendship. You know, it defines some pillar of our friendship.
Yeah, the most random shit happens, and you know, there's people around us. No, I'm gonna call said person. Yeah.
Not just some person. I'm gonna call my best friend to be like, "Hey, man, I just witnessed a death."
Yeah, no, well, I mean, that also gives me the same vibe of like, hey man, you wanna go take pictures of me in a cornfield? Like, why? Like, I don't know. I was like,
Now, mind you,
okay.
say what you want, but some of those pictures that are 5 years old at this point are still pictures I use on current social media.
All I'm saying is I am proud of those pictures.
No, those pictures went
I
hard.
am
All right.
I am a good photographer. I pride myself in my photography skills. And we used my headlights of my old car.
Yep.
The light.
To be fair, it wasn't in a cornfield. It was like next to the cornfield. We mainly
In a
just
playground.
used-
On a
yeah,
church playground.
on a church playground at night.
Yeah. Yeah, it was in grand scheme of things, it was a little sketch, but you
The
know,
more we say, the less great it sounds. But like in
But if we-
context, it was okay.
but if we tell you we were Nope, we weren't in high school. That was college. Shit.
Oh my God, was it?
Yeah. I
Okay,
think
either
it was-
way, you know.
It was Yeah, I was home for COVID.
Oh God.
So, dude,
yeah.
we were fucking 21. That makes it worse. I was gonna say, oh, we were 18.
Not
No,
really,
we
because
were...
it was just like it was just like a dark like playground at night. Like no one was there.
Yeah,
we wondered if there were, like,
21-year-olds at a church playground right next to a fucking cornfield.
Yeah, okay, but it'd be different if there were like people there. If we did it like during the day, people were like actively playing, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna get up on this jungle gym and like sit up there." Like that's worse in my mind
Okay, yeah, okay.
than
If you
two
phrase it
dudes
like
who are
that.
like hanging out like at night doing whatever 21-year-olds do. Like that, you know what I mean? That's
Yeah,
different.
you know what 21-year-olds do? They usually go to the bar and watch the game, not go to a cornfield in the middle of the night and take pictures. But that's what we do.
It wasn't
That's
the middle-
what we
It
do.
wasn't the middle of the night either. It was like 8 or 9 p.m. Let's not say that we were there at like 2 in the morning. You're making it sound worse than it is.
We were definitely there at 10 o'clock, 10, 11.
but
There was
my
no
point
way
still
we were there at
stands.
8 or 9
That's still
because
not
it
the
was
middle-
dark.
That's still not the middle of the night, though.
Okay, fine. I have a thing for the drama. I wanted it to be over
We were there at
dramatic.
4 in the morning, waiting for the church
Waiting for
people
the
to
cock to
arrive.
cuckoo. Wait. Not to cuckoo. To cock-a-doodle-doo. Wait. Why does a cock go cock-a-doodle-doo?
I don't know, Ozzy. What is a cock?
I don't know. Why would they say their name? Like,
Sometimes they're also called a rooster, you know?
so the rooster goes cock-a-doodle-doo.
Yeah, which makes way more sense.
But why is a rooster called a cock? Also, why is Richard called a dick? Why is there so many names for a penis?
Jeez.
This is an existential. Like, why? What's the point? These are serious questions. I know you can't hear me, Christian, but I need answers. I need answers. I need answers.
For context, audio listeners, I took my headset off, my headphones off. I was not. Oh. I don't think I've been this far flung, laughed this hard on an episode in a while. This again, we had plans for a more structured episode.
I know we had a really good
We had a
conversation
really good
that
run of
that I have thought of for weeks now. We haven't got.
It's a conversation that has been on our initial episode list, and one that we have said, "Hey, we're gonna do this week" for the past like month of episodes and a half.
And in this past month of episodes has continuous been like, yeah, we can always pull that out if it seems like if
We
it's getting
just
a little
go.
stale.
We
We
go.
just keep vamping.
God. That's just it. All these episodes, one big continuous vamp. One day on the final episode of the podcast.
See, now this is the real question.
Vamping.
Can we even say that this is like episode 39, or do we have to go back to be like, this is episode 34 part 4? Like
this is episode 1 part 39.
Can we please do that? Can we go back in and renumber? And so this is episode 1 part 39 of
right,
the
Ozzy. We're gonna keep this between just you and me. Just you and me. Definitely nobody listening to this right
on
now.
air.
Right, just shush. Just you and me right now. Nobody else is gonna know. April Fools. I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna change all the episode titles.
That's good.
Yeah.
I think you should, and then you should put a fart noise in there.
No, because I'm required. So, see, doing the titles would make it like just real quick, type it up. Putting a fart noise in there would mean I have to go back and edit 39 episodes worth of audio.
No, I just want you to type fart noise.
That's so stupid, but I love it. Oh, I might have
April
to.
Fools.
Well, also, at this, to be fair, by the time April rolls around, we'll be at like episode 60 something as well.
69.
If we wait a minute, someone's gotta look at the calendar.
Noise.
Because we determined that as long as we skip a week in at the end of this year,
December,
that we will have, like episode 50 will be our first episode of the new year.
Yeah, because the new year is on a Monday.
Then 54, 58, 62. No, we're going to be like a month short.
Darn it.
Which April 1st is on a Monday this year, though.
Oh, yeah.
Or next year, I should say.
I really want to go hard on April Fool's Day this year.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
release like April Fool's Day, like
I think I kind of want to like take off work and just wreak havoc.
You know what? I think we're gonna pause the April Fool's discussion because that's had a great idea, but I'm gonna save it for when we're off air. I'm gonna save this one for when we're off air.
Okay,
great.
Are you taking off on April Fool's Day with me?
No, but we should.
Here, this is my thing. We're going to go to a lake. We're going to take out all of the water of the lake and say, haha, April Fools, and then we're not going to put it back.
We're going to ravage an ecosystem on April Fools.
No, we're going to do a man-made lake, so it's not as bad.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. And I was thinking April Fools, we have other people host the episode.
I thought this was off air.
It's too late. I already said it. I was feeling it. Also, who knows? We have like new listeners by then. Who knows if they go back and listen to this, Well,
I think honestly what we should do for April Fools is we should just confuse them. So we'll switch places.
I go to your house and record, and you come to my house.
And then but then we still switch the things. Yeah, like the places. So like I'll be on the right and you'll be on the left.
Oh god,
and then
that's gonna throw me off.
And then I'll say, "Hey everybody, welcome to That's the Flavor. I'm Christian."
And I'm Ozzy.
Yeah, I did a lot of editing this week. I'm tired. Thank you for being great, everybody.
Does that mean for that week I can make you do all the editing?
I don't know if people want that, but yeah. I mean, that would be a good April Fool's joke. Boom, self-roast.
No. Oh, man. Here we are talking about April Fools, which is like 6 months away.
Yeah, I know. We still have Halloween, and then
Christmas.
You're forgetting Thanksgiving. I wasn't sure if we wanted to talk about it.
I mean,
Indigenous Peoples Day.
Yeah. Valentine's,
birthday.
New Year's, St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah. Martin Luther King Day.
Yeah. We got a lot of days coming up.
President's Day.
I almost said Memorial Day, which is not accurate.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. We got Thursday.
Don't forget about Saturday though.
Don't forget about Mondays, because what happens on Mondays? New episode of
We
That's the
hate
Flavor.
Mondays, except for That's the Flavor.
Yeah, the only good thing about a Monday is That's the Flavor comes out.
Yeah, it's true. It gives a little extra flavor.
Oh yeah, you see, I'm not a big coffee guy, so like instead, what I do, listen to an episode of That's the Flavor. You know, get my kick.
See, I am a big coffee guy, but you know, it's sometimes it's not flavorful enough. So you know.
Well, I was gonna say, does That's the Flavor act like a bonus espresso shot for you then?
Oh, so fun fact: I work in a coffee shop. It's not really a fun fact for all you taste buds. You've known this since day one. But espresso does not affect me.
Oh dear God, you've
Caffeine
built up that
does not-
much of an immunity.
Caffeine does not affect me in the slightest, except it makes me not get a headache because I'm addicted to it.
Oh dear God, that's not good.
No. I'm talking like I drank 9 shots of espresso one day and then still went home and took a nap. And I mean, I had a full, like, nice cycle. I've also downed a Red Bull. Slept fine. Done monsters. Took a nap.
Saying done monsters makes it sound like you're like doing drugs. Like
Making my father proud.
Quick, someone give me a transition topic. I'm not touching that sentence of a 10-foot pole. Quick, to the YouTube comments. I bet there's something here. Oh.
My stomach hurts. Been laughing too much. Oh
yeah, the other thing. Oh yeah, there's a comment or a conversation from last week. So when we had talked about a couple weeks ago, we talked about like the bear at Disney World.
Yeah.
And we talked about like what rides do you think it might have ridden whenever it was there?
Yeah.
Someone thinks that it rode Big Thunder Mountain.
Why?
To try to recreate the scene from Back to the Future 3.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. I definitely think it went in Hall of Presidents.
Oh, dude, Hall of Presidents, great place to take a nap.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But I don't think he took a nap. I think he took a history lesson. I think he also rode
pen and paper.
I think he also rode Haunted Mansion and was really confused.
That's what I see. That my initial thing, Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
Like I was like 100% that bear was on Haunted Mansion.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
My thing is like Haunted Mansion. I'm gonna say Haunted Mansion is the best Magic Kingdom ride.
It is the GOAT.
And mind you, it's a tough competition because I think for me personally, if I had to choose my top 3, you go Haunted Mansion, Pirates, Space Mountain.
Yeah, I was gonna say you definitely have to throw Space Mountain on there.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're just talking Magic Kingdom rides, not all.
I mean,
of,
a
like,
lot
Disney.
of people would also probably disagree with you because they would throw Tiana's Bayou. That's the new name, right?
Yes, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Yeah.
Yeah, Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
See, I'm not a big water ride person, which is why
Fair.
I didn't like throw it in there.
It's fair. That's fair.
Like I've ridden it, but or not Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but I rode Splash Mountain.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. See. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was like fine. Like it's definitely like a log flume kind of thing.
Yeah.
No, Haunted Mansion's definitely up there. I love Space Mountain. See, I think I personally would vote Space Mountain slightly higher, but I'm like a adrenaline junkie, so like I love those coasters. But also, and I don't know if you're gonna classify this as a ride,
Okay.
but I'm a fan of the laugh floor.
I've never been in the laugh floor.
The laugh floor is entertaining.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
next time in the next few years, when I maybe go to Disney again, I will add it to the list.
Yeah. After your NDA is done.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows when that thing's
Maybe.
done? Maybe.
Who knows? Maybe that'll be the 50th travel blog for it.
That's the flavor goes to Disney.
Yeah. No, I think we need to go to Disneyland first, though, because I think we need to do the web shooter.
Oh, 100%. I just need to go to
Avengers
Avengers Campus in general.
Agreed, me too.
Plus, I want to go to Disneyland's Galaxy's Edge because they have all the other cool recent characters that show up, like Ahsoka and Mando and stuff walk around there.
Yeah, agreed.
But
agreed.
Yeah.
This would be nice.
Would be nice. Yeah. What was I gonna? I was gonna say something about Disney, but then you mentioned my NDA, and every time somebody mentions Disney and NDA, I kind of shut up a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
The panic sets in, like, oh no, where's the Disney sniper? Like, oh god.
Hey Christian, you have a red dot.
Oh no.
Christian, no, get down!
Camera footage cuts out, end of the episode.
All right, guys. Well, this has been this episode of That's the Flavor. But then maybe you'll see us next week. Bye.
Maybe bye. But on that note, it's time to bring this episode of That's the Flavor to a close. Definitely not for any spooky, scary, I'm under attack reasons. No, I'm serious. I'm not. I'm fine. But thank you guys for listening.
Ow.
What?
Oh.
Oh, okay. All right.
Imagine if I was a Disney sleeper agent this entire time.
Dude, I'd be so sad. Like that's like a year long. That's like years in the making long plan. Like.
Christian Slider.
Yeah.
Remember what you signed.
I do. But it's time to bring this episode of That's the Flavor to a close. Thank you guys for tuning in for episode number 39. We appreciate each and every one of you taste buds. You guys are awesome and amazing. Really? And I know we kind of keep saying that every week, but it's just true, and I want to make sure that you guys know it.
You're pretty tasty.
You are pretty tasty indeed. We have a lot of cool things in the work for That's the Flavor. Things we aren't ready to talk about just yet, but things that, you know, we're going to be talking about here very soon. And just know that we're kind of constantly working behind the scenes to work on that stuff, as well as doing the show now. And we wouldn't be able to do that without your guys' support, or be thinking about doing these things without your support. So I just want to go ahead and say thank you. Thank you guys for listening, for laughing with us, for going along with the randomness each and every week. We would, again, not be doing this without you, without your guys' comments, your input, and so forth. And yeah, until next week for episode 40, which is crazy. That's
I can actually fit it on my hands again.
And that's also 15 episodes. It'll be 15 episodes like straight, which is wild.
Good.
But yeah, until next Monday for episode number 40, I've been Christian.
Oh, yeah, I've been Ozzy.
And this has been That's the Flavor. Thank you guys for tuning in, Taste Buds, and we'll catch you all next week. Take care and goodbye.
Nom nom.
Nom nom nom.